Welcome to everyone. Today we are going discussing about another important topic on computer network, which is a flow control and buffering. So as we discussed in the previous sessions, we discussing about the flow control mechanism as well as the buffering control mechanism. So what is this flow control and buffering control mechanism, and what is this multiplexing, and what is simple transfer protocol, and what is this internet transfer protocol, all we discuss in this session. So what is flow control and what is buffering? The flow control is done by having a sliding window mechanism, sliding window on each connections to keep a faster transmitter from overrunning the slow receiver. So as we discussed in the data link layer as well, we discussing about the flow control mechanism. What is the flow control? The data transmission rate is very high, but receiving is very slow down. So on that time, some amount of packets are skipped or damaged, or we're not reached, not debug that one, not decoding that one, that we're calling as flow control. So to overcome that kind of scenario, we have to match the data rate between my source as well as my receiver to maintain the flow control manner. So here the sliding window mechanism, sliding window on each connections to keep the fast transmitter overrunning the slow receiver. We have to maintain the sliding window kind of connection. We establish that one. So here what happened? So the buffering is done by the sender, but network source is available, but the sender buffer is there. Buffer all the transfer protocol data units sent to the receiver. So buffer size may varies based upon the sizes of size of different kind of services. The buffer size varies from different to different services. So when you see this one here, n number of things are there. For example, we calling as a fixed size buffer. We having as a fixed amount of buffer size is there. But when we go for changing the mechanism, so the change size may be variable. So previously you have a same length value, but here what happened? The length may changes. That should be in the form of this variable size buffer. But what happened here? Once large circular buffer per connection, right? Right, when you see this one, so here this protocol data unit is 1 2 3, so a number of connections are there. So here optional kind of service, unused connection of service is there, because one large kind of circular buffer per connections we establish that one, then only the information is transmitted. Here what happened? Here also we have an unused space, we have that one, but all the things are in same size. But here what happened? We should be having as a variable size based upon the request manner. We can able to change size, but here once large circular buffer per connection based upon the respective transfer protocol data unit. And we're also calling as a multiplexing. So what is this multiplexing? So generally multiplexing, and as well as we having as a demultiplexing. In the source we go for this multiplexing techniques, as well in the receiver we go for this demultiplexing techniques. Generally we calling as encoding mechanism as well as a decoding mechanism also involved in the structural manner. So in the multiplex section, we'll see this one. In the above the layer, n number of hotspots and n number of points are there, access points are there. So we are able to receive the information from the n number of points, and that information is processed to the root layer in the router manners, and the information is transmitted from the upper layer to the down the layer. But same way in the receiver manner, in the demultiplexing manner, here what happened? Many to one communication is there, but here what happened? All the connections are went to this one point. So one to many communication based upon this network values only. Many to one communication, one to many communication, which is information is multiplexed in the source section as well as demultiplexed in the destination section based upon the transport address value as well as the network address value. And here this point we're calling as a router lines only, and this we're calling as respective information routing path values only. And we also calling as a crash recovery. What is this crash recovery? So in the crash recovery, so any information is damaged, so how we are able to recover that one? What kind of strategy we follow that one? Which is we are used to send the information. So it always be retransmitted or never be retransmitted, or retransmitted in only S0 or in S1. So when you see this one, here you're getting this acknowledgement kind of service. We have that when we go for this acknowledgement, or information is lost or information is duplicate, all the things are there. So here what is the strategy we are used by the receiving point? So first we acknowledge, then we can able to write. First write, then acknowledge. First we get the acknowledgement, then we can able to write, or else first we write, then we get the acknowledgement. When you see this one, first acknowledgement, then we can write, which means the OK and duplicate and if last, if okay and if last, or okay, duplicate last, or last, okay, okay. Which means okay in the sense a functional protocol correctly, duplicate in the sense a protocol generates a duplicate message, and lost in the sense protocol loses a message. So that kind of information we grab that one. Same way, first write, then acknowledgement. Here what happened, first acknowledgement, then write. Here what happened, first write, then acknowledgement. So it may have chance of duplicate, information is damaged, or else loss of duplicate should be happens, or duplicate should be happens. So what is a transport protocol? What is this? We calling a simple transport protocol. What is simple transport protocol? A simple transport protocol which is reside on the top of the IP protocol. So this transport protocol runs over the best effort of the IP layer. So this has to provide the mechanism for a particular application which will communicate to each other without directly or without interfacing, without interacting with the IP layer. So we have, because when you go for this simple transport protocol, that purely work upon this TCP segmentation. We calling a simple segmentation. So here we have to put the best effort of IP transport layer. So here the how the information is transmitted, how the information is communicated. So each other with without any deviation should be happen. So without any connection should be happens. The virtually information is transmitted. That we calling as a simple transport protocol. So here what happened? This IP protocol stock, a simple IP protocol stock is there that is most widely used and connected to a transport layer. Transport protocol services, which you calling as a user datagram protocol. So here what happened, when you go for any kind of a virtual mechanism, virtual kind of services, so that may chances to require the user datagram protocol, and that protocol we calling as a transport control protocol. And here what happened, the reliability is achieved, which means what is the buffering data is combined, and what kind of positive acknowledgement receive that one. So that also measured here. So here what kind of we have here many kind of retransmissions or a positive acknowledgement. So all kind of reliability is achieved based upon this buffer data combined mechanism. And here the three kind of protocols are there. The transfer protocols are might be using this transmission control protocol or user datagram protocol or a stream control transmission protocol. So here while information is transmitted from source destination, we are using n number of protocol, we are using that one. But while developing this transmission control protocol with internet protocol, we are going to develop the virtual manner, or else in the connection oriented communication or connection less communication with a virtual manner. That should be in the user datagram protocol, or else in the simple stream control protocol, or else we are also calling as a transmission control kind of protocol we are using that one. So this transmission control protocol generally we calling as a connection oriented delivery of packet, but this is suitable for this session oriented protocol. So all the time should be a connection oriented communication is required, is a kind of wide communication is required to while establishing the connection between the source and destination, process to process delivery kind of communication. A session kind of oriented services is required. But in the UDP protocol is unordered or kind of delivered kind of IP diagram, we found that one. But this is an excellent application carrying the multimedia traffic. This having as excellent applications carrying the multimedia traffic. And this stream control transmission protocol, so it provides the more reliability than TCP because it has to maintain the better control of flow control mechanism, buffering control, and as well as retransmission, as well as multiple streams. All these things we can able to easily accommodate, we can easily operate in the stream control transmission protocol. And so what is with this internet transport layer protocol? In the internet transport layer protocol is responsible two protocol. One is TCP protocol, another is UDP protocol. So in the transmission control protocol as well as the user datagram protocol. So this IP protocol in the network layer, so that delivers a datagram from source host to the destination host. So while we develop the situation, right? When you see this one, we have one telnet client is there. So information is transferred from this telnet client to this telnet client. So all the way to the TCP IP is involved, or UDP is involved, or IP layer is involved, or dotted link layer or physical layer. All the down the layers all involved. This IP layer is segmentation the network layer and deliver the datagram from one source host to the second host. So I conclude this session. In this session, we are discussing about what is the important parameters of flow control and buffering control, because if we increase this flow control value, it may chance to jump the information. The packets are overlapped, or else that should be very hectic to get the information decoding. So as well as same way in the buffering section as well. And here in the multiple section discussing about many to one connections or else one to many connections are established. Right. How the information is transmitted, that kind of multiplexing technique, and information transfer from host 1 to host 2, what kind of data units we require that and what kind of service access point required that we discuss in this session. And the transport layer and the simple transfer protocol layer value. So how the information is transmitted, so which means if any information is damaged, you go for this retransmission. All these things are looking care into this transport control protocol with the help of this UDP and all these things. And here another important thing is transmission layer protocol. So which means while we using this transport protocol, we go for using internet communications only, but how it is a connection oriented communication, or else how we go for a connection less communication. So that we discuss in this session. Thank you.